what is quite interesting from the Love and Light Brigade in the wellness space, which I believe is currently disintegrating as lots of people are renouncing that world because it's fake in many ways. It was temporary, it wasn't sustainable. I'm not saying it can't have created beauty and magic for people in moments and sharing circles and various things, but wasn't sustainable because it wasn't real. There's a level of illusion to it, so anything that is built on an illusion is falling. And alongside this, we watch what we watch on whatever box and learn what we learn from teachers or from our own reflections or from other real life people just sharing their stuff. And what I find quite interesting is also some of the comments about like not reacting to situations, just having a regulated emotional response, which of course that's great, but also to not live with any kind of energy, high energy, passion is deemed as negative, as if we're meant to be walking around here like a Zen master, all the time, not interacting, interfacing as sensitive HSPs, highly sensitive sentient beings, which we also allow and we flow. We don't control it, we need to manage it. So sometimes when we're in a space of moving around things, stuff can catch us off guard. That doesn't mean we're not a master. This is a mastery until the day we would die. Nobody is healed. There's people in the Love and Light Brigade at the minute saying, oh, well, this person's not healed because they've not ascended to 5D, which means that they're still getting the spiritual attacks. And that means that they've not, healed properly. And because if you're aligned with your higher self and in 5D continuously, while also navigating a real life world situation wherever we find ourselves in the globe, we're not going to get spiritual attacks. Things can calm down, but as light beings, there is also a level of polarity. So what I don't understand, and where I'm not aligned with some of the Love and Light Brigade, spreading their truth in whatever ways they need to, this is not a judgment, this is an observation on some of the words and mind-boggling things to me, that we're meant to have mastered everything. And by aligning in 5D, it means that we're never going to be presented with any type of spiritual challenge or conflict. I think that is the illusion. And it's going to obviously all be relative because we've created and chosen our paths according to the higher guidance, rulings and teachings that have come our way from past experiences. And some of us might have opted out of a system and connected to another one, which will present challenges because it's not where we've been raised. And so cultural differences and language barriers or various things present another form of challenge or conflict, polarity, which can be harmonised, and we try to work on things, but it's just funny to think that everybody thinks they're now on, not everybody, many people in the spiritual world think that they're aligned with their 5D higher self. And I think if shit hit the fan, I'm not sure that would still be the case. I trust that there might be a belief of we're always looked after and we can get through many things, but aligning with the dream timeline does not mean that we are not met with opposition and polarity. That's just my belief. Like, this is Earth School. You don't get a free happy ride continuously, otherwise how do you know if what goes up must come down, what's down you can only go up? This is a vibration, it's a frequency, and nothing is constant. I mean, constant, everything is in constant motion, but nothing is like stagnant or still. And so 441 backwards on the clock, it's beautiful to think of everybody connecting to 5D, because I guess the more you talk about it, the more you're trying to align with that. But trying and striving also means that, it's not really what we're meant to do in life. I don't strive to be Buddhist, a Buddha moving around, with no disrespect to those who have chosen that lifestyle, but like, I also feel my feelings, and I'm in this lived experience with the knowledge and the maturity that I've acquired over time from experiences that presented themselves to me, and I'm knowing myself. This is an ongoing process. Life is a process. And so these definitive comments from people about, well, now I'm in the 5D and I have aligned with my higher self. There are no spiritual attacks. And listen, we can all be protected by angels. We can all be protected by higher guidance. We can all be protected fiercely. But the higher we ascend, there are things that are going to present. This is if we believe in all is the mind, mentalism, and the principles of polarity and the laws of hermeticism and the laws of the universe, natural order, divine law. So perhaps these people do not connect with that. But with the civilizations that have passed, and with the lessons that have been taught across humanity and across civilizations, there is always a cause and effect. There is always action and consequence. There is always light and dark. There is always polarity. And some of us who don't pretend to be a Zen master live in the realness of life, which is never balanced. We try to maintain a level of composure and harmony of self. But when we're interacting in different cultures, different language, like, it's okay if you've created a life of comfort, then the challenges don't appear, and that's fine. That's the choice and the path that people have created for themselves. But life is not comfortable, and we can't shy away from that. And 7:07 on the clock. I think that's everything I have to say. I just was listening to a few things and I was like, nope, I'm in disagreement on my high horse at some of the tripe. I want to say tripe because that's not very nice to say, but the more we lie to ourselves, the more we spread an inauthentic vibration to the people, thinking that we've mastered it all. And so I think we need to be a bit more humble. It's hard as people grow in their professions or whatever vocations or various things and get more and more attention. People thrive off the validation of others. But at the end of the day, like, no one is, I very, very, very much doubt, and what I'm getting messages from, no one on earth has achieved 5D consistently right now. Whether it's a space, a frequency, whatever, we're all pulling our own resources, our love vibration together to create a more harmonic environment on the earth realm at present. But we're not at 5D collectively yet. Not from the shit that I'm seeing. And that's no judgment on people, places and things where I'm at. This is also like collective energies. The purge is still ongoing. That could last another 5 years, another 10 years. And so those who are tooting the trumpet of, I have mastered myself and I am in 5D at all times, right here, right now, well, I mean, great for you, but I don't see that being a full-time thing when you anchor in the realness of life and challenge. But everybody's reality is different, so I'm speaking from mine and my lived experiences. I cannot speak from the others. I can only receive their words and think, is that in alignment with what I, again, believe? Also loosely on belief systems, but it just played in my mind that people think they've anchored in the highest frequencies. I'm not saying they've not anchored in highest timelines, but the dream life, highest timelines, like there is always a struggle in paradise. nothing is perfect. So that doesn't make sense if we are in the 5D and we're never ever going to be spiritually attacked or this, that and the other. Nothing is perfect. So how is that truth, how does that 1011 on the clock, how does that align? I don't, anyway, this is all thought on words and blah blah blah, but it didn't make sense to me. So if things don't make sense to me, I'm gone.